What could I possibly be doing with this? Right? Yeah, I play with it a lot, really. I do. Genesis 1:31 says, God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. That's what this is. It's not perfect. It squeaks. I wore it out pretty good. But it's very good. It's complete. It's whole, right? And see, that's what God created us to be, was whole. He wants us to be whole. But see, in the beginning, after God had done all this, at some point afterwards in the garden, Adam and Eve sinned. One sin become another, and another, and another. And before long, there's just sin running rampant, going crazy, all over the place. But it wasn't just their sins. It wasn't just Cain's sins. Because in Romans 3:23, that's pretty messed up. Didn't take long, did it? In Romans 3:23, it says, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Anybody else want to put their sin on it? Nobody's willing to spin it, make it a little bit more messed up? Yeah. No. Fixing it's the little tricky part. See, what I learned from messing with this thing, surprisingly,
You learn how to do it.
I did. But what I learned, there it is, looking for my other piece. No, I didn't forget. Not yet. What I learned is that before you could solve any part of it, you have to come to the cross. Once you come to that cross, you start following the instructions that are given by the Creator. In this case, Rubik's company, but of course we get the instructions from the Creator. That once you come to the cross, you can start following those instructions and things start falling into place. And sometimes it gets a little tricky. It just takes time and patience, a little bit of faith and trust. Patience. A little bit of faith and trust, and things start falling into place and becoming what it's supposed to be. But things are still a little chaotic. Things aren't always perfect. Still got these other things you got to deal with. So you persevere, push through, more faith, more trust, more patience. And always following the instructions given by the Creator. There it is.
Did Rubik give instructions with that?
They do. You have to go to their website. It took me about a week to learn the instructions formula. Pretty soon, more and more things start falling into place as long as you follow the instructions given. And for every time you do something, a different situation comes up. So you sometimes have to do things a little different than what somebody else might have. But there's always instructions to be followed. And they're given right there in the Bible. And as long as you keep doing that, keep pushing through, keep having faith, things still keep falling into place. Even when things seem impossible, following the instructions can prove I forgot where I was going with that. Can prove to bring things together. But we're still not complete. There's still a few things out of place in our life. But we're still trusting in God. We're still following His instructions. We're still having faith, still persevering, still pushing through. And sometimes that could turn our world upside down. But, again, faith, trust, perseverance. And before you know it, He's made you whole.
There you go.
Now see, 1 John 3:6 says, everyone who remains in Him does not sin. Everyone who sins has not seen Him or known Him. There's a promise there. Is that when you turn to Christ, when you become a Christian, when you follow His instructions after coming to the cross, you don't have to sin anymore. It's no longer a necessity. You don't do it out of habit anymore. If you sin, you've made a conscious choice.
That's right.
And that gets you away from God. See, in verse 9 of that same passage, 1 John 3, it says, everyone who has been born of God does not sin because his seed remains in him. He is not able to sin because he has been born of God. It's a lot to take in. What I learned from learning this is what I really want to teach you. What I learned from taking the time to learn this, like I said, it took me about a week to memorize the patterns, to memorize each situation and what I needed to do in each situation to do that. The point is in Deuteronomy 11, 18, and 19. That early in the book, that early in the Bible, it's given to us what we have to do. It says, imprint these words of mine on your hearts and minds. Study the Bible. Study it. Devotionals. Bible studies. Coming to service. Coming to Sunday school. Whatever it takes. Put it on your hearts. Put it on your minds. Why? So you can teach them to your children. So that you can talk about them when you sit at your house or when you walk along the road. When you lie down or when you get up. That's always. That's every moment of the day. To talk about the Word of God. It's just a little bit of takeaway that I got from playing with Rubik.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.